It has been a long old time since I picked up my phone to vlog. What am I? 15 seconds in and the dog is already barking. But happy 2025 everyone. I hope you all had a really lovely festive period, even though that was ages ago because it's the 14th. Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Tuesday the 14th of January.
It's the 14th of January today and Christmas feels literally ages ago because it was. But yeah, we're back for 2025. I have started the year quite slowly. I'm not big into New Year's resolutions and setting loads of goals. I never really have been, but in particular since I became like a full-time self-employed person, I find the whole new year... Right, what was I saying? I find the whole new year, new everything, goals, expectations to be too much for me. I'd much rather take the first few weeks of the year slowly and just ease myself in, and so that's what I've done. I've had a very boring first couple of weeks of January, so there was nothing really to vlog anyway. I've just been doing admin things. Just have some of this before it spills down my jumper. I'm not entirely sure what this vlog is going to consist of. I do want to do a quick kind of like 2024 favourite summary, and I also thought I might do a book update because it's been quite a while since I did that, and I think I want to start including, I mean, I'm not going to become a book tuber, but I think I want to start including a little bit more about what I'm reading, maybe on YouTube or over on TikTok. I'm not sure yet, but 2024 was like a year where my life honestly changed, and that sounds incredibly dramatic, I know, but reading has become such an escape for me, and if you'd have told me that in probably May last year, I would have been like, what you want about, that's not going to happen. I haven't picked up a book properly in years apart from on holiday. But yeah, that is just something that I have been toying with the idea of recently. I also have my first ever reformer Pilates class on Thursday. I know I literally just said that I wasn't about starting loads of new things and making loads of new commitments in the new year, but a new reformer studio has just opened up on the outskirts of York, and it's something that I have wanted to try for a while, so I'm going to give that a test on Thursday. They kindly invited me to go for a class in their opening week, but if I enjoy it then I will be continuing to go. Then on Friday this week, me and Liam are going for a night away with Peaches to Robin Hood's Bay, which is just down the coast from Whitby on the east coast of England. It's one of my favourite parts of the country. It's the most beautiful little seaside town. We actually spent last New Year's with a group of friends in Robin Hood's Bay, and it was such a nice trip. So very much looking forward to that. I will probably vlog bits because why wouldn't I? But yeah, I just wanted to hop on and introduce the vlog because I feel like it's been such a long time since I spoke to you, and I mean, I feel like I have just completely word vomited all of the things I felt like I needed to tell you guys. So apologies for that, but yeah, hopefully you enjoy the rest of the vlog. Okay, it's time. 2024 favourites. I'm going to start with what is currently in my lap, and it is this hot water bottle from Amazon. Really random to include this, but my hot water bottle actually split in December time, end of November, early December, I can't quite remember. which wasn't a surprise because it was incredibly old and the rubber had started to like melt. It was, yeah, that well used. But I found this one on Amazon, and I'm not typically a case on my hot water bottle kind of person. I would prefer to be like slightly burnt from my hot water bottle. I just love it when it's super hot, and obviously having the case on restricts that. But this is so cozy because it has like this little hand slot, so you can just kind of cuddle it. And also it's quite handy because when I go out in the garden with Peaches, I just kind of can almost do like a hands-free hot water bottle situation. So I just thought I would include that because, yeah, it's been incredibly handy. And we'll move on to beauty. So the Rhode Barrier Butter, this is a fairly recent one, only towards the end of 2024 did this get released, but oh my gosh, I love it. I've actually nearly finished this bottle. It's great, it's really rich, and I put it on every single morning, especially the past few weeks because it has been so cold outside. My skin has been completely dried out, and I really, yeah, have enjoyed putting this on underneath my makeup, or if I'm not wearing any makeup, then just this gives you such a gorgeous, healthy glow. And then a couple of lip products. These are both by Naturium. You've probably heard me raving about this brand before. The Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balm. This is a new one. It's in shade Spice, which is one of my favourite colours. It's just got a really nice tint to it that gives your lips like a little bit more life, and just a really nice consistency. But more recently I have been loving the Phyto Glow Lip Mask. They sent me this toward the end of last year and I've used quite a lot of it already. It's like a slightly, as the name would suggest, thicker, more, I wouldn't necessarily say it was more nourishing because the tube balm is also very nourishing, but this is just like a kind of, I don't know how to describe the consistency of it. It's slightly less sticky and it just feels like a slightly more intense version of the tube balms. And finally, for beauty, I have the Nars Afterglow Liquid Blush, and this is in the shade Orgasm. It's just such a nice, lightweight liquid blush. I feel like all blushes nowadays, well, liquid blushes, are so incredibly pigmented, and before you know it, you've gone completely blush blind and you know your entire face is like pink or red. This is super sheer. That makes it sound like it's not going to provide much. It's sheer while still giving a really nice flush of colour. So I've got it on now. I went to Marbella in summer with my friends, and each evening everybody was borrowing this. We all loved it. It just looks so natural, like you have been sat out in the sun all day. So yeah, this is a 2024 favourite for sure. I'll stick with beauty actually, and we will do fragrance next. I couldn't narrow it down to just one. But if you'd have asked me at the beginning of 2024 what my favourite perfume was, without a doubt it would have been Diptyque Do Son. This perfume had me in a chokehold from the end of 2023 when I got it until probably May, June time. Oh, it is gorgeous. I think I just, toward the end of last year, overkilled on it a little bit. It was like the only perfume I wore, and I just came a little bit sick of it. But now that I've just sprayed it again, maybe I'm gonna start wearing this more often again. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got notes of jasmine, and I can't remember. I'm not much of a perfume connoisseur, but I will leave a link to it, and I'm sure somewhere in the description of the website it will have the scent notes. Then I've got this LeLabo fragrance. This is the Noir 29, and this is unreal. I only actually got this toward the end of last year, but it has been on my to buy fragrance list for a really long time, for years actually, and every evening out or kind of slightly more special occasion, this was the scent that I was reaching for. Obviously I've only got a small bottle, so I'm not sure it's going to last me for very long, but yeah, a really nice evening scent. And finally, for the last few months of 2024, I would say one of my most reached for fragrances is the Burberry Goddess, which is a bit of a surprise because it's quite different to the other two scents. It's really very sweet, which, I mean, I'm not against sweet fragrances at all. I have quite a few in my collection, but I just naturally gravitate towards slightly less sugary and sweet perfumes. But this is heavenly. And when I tell you, I get so many compliments when I wear this perfume. And I know people say that, and it probably doesn't happen. They're just trying to like upsell a perfume to you. To be honest, when I say I don't think anybody's ever complimented me when I've worn these two fragrances and most other ones in my perfume collection. But this one, I think I've had 4 separate occasions in the last few months where people have said that I smell great. So if you're interested in smelling nice, I would recommend giving this one a test. Right, so that's it for perfume. So I'll start with the bag that I have worn the most this year, which was kind of a surprise to me because when I got this, I didn't reach for it an awful lot, but I have worn this Suede bag from Flattered more than anything this year. It has been my absolute go-to. I just think it works with like pretty much everything, which is why I've grabbed it so many times. It does come with a longer strap, but I never wear it with the long strap. I'd rather just have it like under my arm, which I know can be a little bit impractical sometimes, but you can kind of carry it with that strap, or if you wanted, you could put it through the crook of your arm if you wanted 2 hands free. But yeah, the Suede bag has been a 2024 staple for me, and I think my next on my wish list will be like a nice chocolatey brown, maybe like a shoulder tote bag style, just so I've got something slightly more practical than this, which kind of acts as more of a clutch. Then I have my leather loafers, which are also from Flattered, and I wasn't really a loafers girl until 2024, and I would still say I'm a little bit unsure about loafers on me personally, but these have been such a go-to. I feel like I've said go-to about 500 times, but yeah, these loafers have literally done me so well. They are so comfy. Oh my god, the comfiest shoes you'll ever wear. Bit messed up on the bottom. It's like wearing slippers, and I know they kind of look like granny slippers, but I love a little touch of grandma chic. I'm sure they're not to everybody's taste, but yeah, I love them. I love the little ruche detailing around the toe. They just look really nice paired with simple black trousers and a knit, when you don't want to wear a trainer but you want something slightly more covered up than a ballet flat. You could pop a pair of socks on with these and they keep your feet warm, but they're just slightly smarter than other options. So yeah, I've absolutely loved these. These sunglasses from Cotton On, just a real cheapy pair of sunnies, but these have seen me through so many sunny days this year. Well, not this year, last year. They're just such a good shape. I love an oval sunglass. I really like the tortoiseshell frame. I think it makes them match pretty much everything in my wardrobe. Yeah, they're just such a staple, and I don't think they're available anymore, but I will search for some similar alternatives because I'm sure there are many like this on the market at the moment. And the last thing on the fashion front is this Damson Madder jacket. It's reversible, but I've actually only ever worn it on the brown side. I just adore the shape of this. It's not doing it much justice on the hanger, but the shape of the sleeves is so great. It's a great jacket. Again, one of those things that I get complimented on quite a lot when I wear it. I think the kind of subtle floral embroidery details are really pretty without being too feminine. So yeah, anyway, I don't need to go on about that too much, but just a very good jacket, and I will link it down below if it's still available. Now, it wouldn't be a 2024 favourites roundup if I didn't include a couple books. First of all, Fourth Wing. I'll include Iron Flame, but really Fourth Wing was the winner of these two. This book I have to thank for getting me back into reading. I read it for the first time on holiday in July. I'd only read one book prior in 2024, which was a book called The Maid. It took me from January to about June to read that one book, and then read this on holiday and was consumed by it. So I had this ready for delivery for when I got home from holiday. But yeah, this book will always hold a special place in my heart because it's really what got me into reading again, and in particular fantasy. I don't know why I never tried fantasy books before, because I love fantasy films and TV series. Mentioned loads of times, in Game of Thrones is one of my top series ever. I love films like Hunger Games, Divergent. I love Stranger Things, The Avengers. Just things that are like so far from reality are the kind of content that I like to consume in my spare time. So yeah, not sure why it never crossed my mind to delve into fantasy books, but this is the book I have to thank for giving me a whole new hobby. So yeah, Fourth Wing, mwah. I've just done the rereads of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, ready for Onyx Storm. It comes out a week today. Oh, I'm currently reading a book, but I just cannot get into it because I can't focus on anything but Fourth Wing. I just cannot wait. I'm so ready to be back in the world of Fourth Wing. It's just, yeah, it's incredible how much more you kind of like pick up on when you've already read the books once. But anyway, Fourth Wing will always love, will always have, yeah, a special place in my heart, as I said. And I can't not include Throne of Glass. If you know me, this will come as no surprise to you that this is probably the top of all of my 2024 favourites. This comes to the very, very top of the list. This was probably like the best month of my life, or however long it took me, 6 weeks to read these books. I was hooked, and I still am. My life revolves, well, not my life, but my TikTok For You page revolves around Throne of Glass and also Fourth Wing. But yeah, these books were just incredible, and I wish I could read them again for the first time. If you are yet to pick these books up and experience this world, I am so jealous. Lucky you, because honestly, the things I would do to be able to read these books for the first time again, oh, I just love them so much. I think I honestly, I loved these way more than I love Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing is incredible, but I think I have a soft spot for it because it was the first fantasy book that I read. But Throne of Glass, just I fear that I will never experience anything as good as these books again. My friend Rebecca recently finished the Throne of Glass series, so now in all of our spare time we just send each other TikToks of Throne of Glass memes or really sad snippets from the book, which make me want to cry, because this was emotionally damaging in all of the best ways, and I think it will have like a lasting impact on my life. I will be rereading these at some point this year, but yeah, couldn't not include these in my 2024 favourites because they come first place. So yeah, that's it for the 2024 favourites list. I will do a little current reads, recent reads update at some point in this vlog as well, just to touch on what I have read recently and whether I liked it or not. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will link everything that can be linked in the description below. Also, just want to get excited again for the fact that Onyx Storm comes out in a week. So this is everything that I read from, I think, around the last week of November throughout December, and yeah, it's quite a big pile. I really need to find somewhere to keep my books because currently everything is shoved in top of my wardrobe. I'd actually like to get a bookcase in the gap where I'm sitting, and I've got my eye on one from Habitat, but it's out of stock and it's been out of stock for weeks. So I'm also having a look at the ones that are available on Tilco because they're quite a cool modern vibe, but this is just not a very wide space, so I'm fairly limited because these are my wardrobes. But anyway, that's a massive tangent. So I think the last book chat we had was when I just finished the Crescent City series and was delving back into Serpent in the Wings of the Night. So I read both of these. These are the Nightborn duets within the Crowns of Nyaxia series. 2 books in the Nightborn duet, obviously, and I really enjoyed these, especially after quite an intense series like Crescent City. So these books are about vampires. The first book is a kind of trials situation, and then the second book follows on from that. Yeah, enemies to lovers, vampires, what's not to love. I really enjoyed these. Then I moved on to the Lightlark saga. I really enjoyed book 1 of this. This again is a kind of trial situation. Then you move on to Nightbane, which is like post-trials. Basically, the main character, this isn't a spoiler, there's a love triangle going on with her and 2 of the male characters. I enjoyed this because it kind of was present day and then flashback to before the trials took place in this book, and I just enjoyed the format of that. But by book 3, I'm kind of sick of Isla, the female main character. She's just so indecisive, and I feel like the answer is really obvious. She's just being a bit stupid. But yeah, I'll probably buy book 4 when it comes out because I did enjoy the series overall, and I'm not going to let this one book kind of like ruin it for me. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed them, and I will, yeah, continue to read this series. Oh, whoops. The last few weeks of December were spent reading the Kingdom of Lies series. I'm torn on this. I really enjoyed the first book, Caught This Cruel and Lovely. A very quick synopsis of the storyline. It's about a human girl, but she has forbidden magic in the kingdom that she lives in, and so she basically has to flee her village, and she encounters a group of mercenaries and kind of tags along with them on their journey, and it follows their kind of journey throughout the kingdom, and then the rest of the books follow on from that. I really enjoyed book 1, and it ended on quite a cliffhanger, so I very quickly bought the rest of the series. But by book 4, I was very close to putting the book down. If it wasn't for the fact that I would be annoyed at myself for having read this much and then giving up like with that much to go, I maybe would have put it down, but I'm too kind of stubborn to do that. So I did finish the series. I just felt like it was a bit kind of lacking by the end. It's a sort of ACOTAR Throne of Glass vibe, but just not as good. And so I think this is a me problem, but I think I was just comparing it to those a bit too much while I was reading. So yeah, they were okay. I will not be rereading these at any point. After I'd finished the Kingdom of Lies series, that is when I went back and did my Fourth Wing and Iron Flame reread ready for Onyx Storm. I spoke about that earlier in the vlog. And my current read is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. So this is part of the Crowns of Nyaxia series, and it is the first book of the Shadowborn duet. And I'm only about probably a third of the way in, so I can't give a full opinion yet, but I'm enjoying it so far. I just can't quite focus on it because I'm so excited for Onyx Storm to come out. This book follows the female main character called Mish, and she is one of the side characters from the first 2 books in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. So basically, obviously I've not finished it yet, but Mish is kind of sent on a mission to resurrect a god, and she has to travel through the layers of the underworld to get there. And along the way, there's obviously trouble they face, all the kind of things the underworld has to throw at them. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, but just not quite into it as much as I probably would be if I wasn't so excited for Onyx Storm to come out. But I'll come back to this with a full opinion when I finished it. And whilst we're talking books, I'll just very quickly touch on what's next on my TBR. Obviously after Onyx Storm, I got the Gods and Monsters series for Christmas. This is what I will be reading after, yeah, Onyx Storm next week. But I honestly don't really know what these books are about. I've just seen a lot of good reviews on TikTok, so that is what I'm going off. What I do know is that the FMC is morally grey in this book, which is different to any of the books I've currently read, so that should be interesting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading these. Good morning, happy Thursday. I've just got dressed and ready to head out to my first ever Reformer Pilates class, and I'm quite nervous and anxious about it. I'm going on my own, and obviously it's something that I've never tried before, but I'm going to a beginner class, so I'm hoping I won't be the only person there who's never tried Reformer Pilates before. But I'm just really hoping that I find a new kind of exercise that I really enjoy, because I've never found a form of exercise where I've thought, I love this. You know, I've been on and off going to the gym since I was a teenager. I have tried a few yoga classes. I've done a couple of spin classes way back when I was at uni, and just nothing ever really stuck. I never loved anything, and when I go out for runs I just get quite bored, and yeah, they're okay, but they're just not exciting. So I'm hoping this is going to be a fun new challenge that I enjoy. I'm not certain how much I'll film, if anything. I feel like I should concentrate on the class for the first time round, and then if I do go again and begin to get a little bit more confident, I can maybe try and like get some video content. But yeah, sorry if I don't vlog any of the actual class, but I'll try and get a snippet of the new studio because it looks really, really lovely. And if you're local to York, then yeah, you might want to see a little bit of what it looks like. But yeah, so that's the plan. I need to quickly pack an overnight bag because I'm heading to my mum and dad's house straight after, and I've got to go look after the dogs because my parents are away for a few nights. So I need to, yeah, quickly pack a bag now, defrost the car and get going to Pilates. So wish me luck. I'm praying that I don't fall off, but knowing me, I'm very clumsy, so it's a real possibility. But anyway, I'm nervous. I'm at my mum and dad's house now for the evening, and I just thought I'd do a little update post first ever Reformer Pilates class. I really, really enjoyed myself and I'm so happy about it. My friend Fern was actually there, which was a really, really welcome surprise because she's done Reformer Pilates before, so you know, it was just comforting to have a familiar face there, although I'm sure I would have been fine had she have not been there. But it was just a nice surprise that we'd both booked on to the same class. So yeah, I've actually already booked on to 2 classes for next week, pre-Copenhagen Fashion Week, and then I'm sure once I'm home from Copenhagen I'll be booking into more regular, like a monthly membership from February onwards. So I'm very, very happy that I enjoyed it so much, and this is your sign. If you're thinking of trying something new but are feeling a little bit apprehensive about it, then just do it. Just take the plunge. I know it seems easier said than done, but I'm really proud of myself, even though I'm sure to some people this seems like nothing at all. But I'm not really the kind of person that goes and tries lots of new things by themselves, especially exercise classes and stuff like that. It's just a bit out of my depth. But yeah, if you're thinking of trying a new hobby and putting it off, then take this as your sign. Go do it. The worst that can happen is that you actually find out you don't enjoy it and you don't have to go back. But if you do enjoy it, then you'll be really proud and pleased with yourself for going. You found a new little hobby. So yeah, I'm very happy about the situation, and the studio is absolutely gorgeous. It's very bright and open and airy. It also smells really nice. It's the 1111 studio, and it's just up near Monk's Cross for anybody who is based near York. Also, they've got a studio in Leeds, I think. But yeah, definitely worth a visit, and I highly recommend Rebecca as an instructor too. She was really lovely.